Hey everybody, today let's talk about extraterrestrial crash recovery. Now, why am I in my workshop and not in my cave? That's because I've never told the YouTube audience this, but I actually worked for NASA making a film about extraterrestrial crash recovery. They kept it pretty quiet because it's very, very important. So, a man with great inside knowledge that I totally respect because he actually is talking the truth is David Grush.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force?
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No.
He is absolutely correct. There are crash recovery teams that recover anything from space. There are crash recovered material science investigation teams. There are government, university and defense contractor laboratories looking at weird extraterrestrial material today. So it is true, but that begs the question, why? What could we benefit from finding stuff from outer space? The truth is that extraterrestrial material flying down or landing on Earth often has unique qualities, and they are friends. What do I mean by they're friends? Well, they're our allies. Kind of. They're not allies, they're alloys. A great French word. Cutting edge, modern or ancient. Our planet has been bombarded with these unique alloy metal combinations. Everything you see in this workshop depends on one thing. Not rotational speed, but material science. I need to cut, grind, shape to an exact size on a mill, or turn on a lathe to a diameter. Well, you can't do that unless you have tools which are stronger in material science than the stuff that you're making. Back in the mist of time, blacksmiths, who were probably building weapons, discovered that if you could forge, hammer together different metals, their qualities are combined. They're still the unique metal in the sandwich, but instead of just being hard, it's hard and ductile, or temperature resistant, or crack resistant. Probably the most famous friends that got joined together as allies into an alloy is stainless steel, which is flexible and hard and stain or rust resistant. And that very much came from a meteorite that fell on Earth in France in the 17th century. They saw it was shiny, mainly ferrous metal, but it also had a proportion of chromium in it. And it went on to form the biggest industry in the world. In my hometown of Sheffield, making stainless steel cutlery. A gift from space. But you're all wondering, what's that got to do with flying saucers? Well, a lot. If you can find something that falls onto Earth that has unique metallurgical properties, you can make a novel alloy. One of the most novel alloys is this. The hardest material known to man, and probably from outer space. 500 times harder than steel. And made by humans probably after the analysis of extraterrestrial material science. And I swear allegiance to Congress and David Grush A sample of it originally fell from space and was analyzed and found this novel alloy. Today it is publicly the hardest, strongest alloy known to mankind and is mainly used in aerospace industry. But today I'm going to show you something I was actually given. This is probably the most valuable thing that I own in this entire house. It looks like a lump of brass. It's absolutely not. It has a maker's name, a batch number, and even a special serial number for this puck of material. This stuff is used to build nuclear submarines. It's not radioactive. It's part of their underwater corrosion-resistant propulsion system. It's lot number 1008, made in 2020, and it's UALNMFE4. It's an alloy of different materials. This valuable puck of material is extremely heavy and has unique properties, worth over 500 euros, and it's made out of aluminium, nickel, chromium, iron, with a special isotopic value. I'm very proud and lucky to have it. It came from an aerospace engineering company and ended up in my humble workshop. I'm not sure what I'm going to build out of it yet. I'm not very big at building nuclear submarines. So going back to flying saucers and crash recovery, I think it's quite possible that unique materials that fall or land on Earth need to be examined. Almost every modern alloy that we have on Earth came from space. Space is old. Space is cold, and some materials take millions, if not billions of years to join together, and those unique properties can be copied. One of my favorite stories is that my hero Frank Whittle, who invented a British jet engine, I know it was invented all over the world, he was held back by metallurgy. He needed a compressor blade that didn't melt. And the RAF told him, "You're ahead of your time, mate. We don't have the metallurgy to build your compression jet engine." And they were correct. Whittle was ahead of his time. It took years until special alloys came out for jet engines, very secretly. So do I think that many countries have extraterrestrial crash recovery teams? Absolutely they do. And you can do it too. Go up on your roof and sweep it. You can find meteorite microspherules almost all over our planet. Millions of tons of them hit our Earth every year, and they are the basis of novel material science. And that's just metallurgy. There's a far more interesting twist to what David Grush reveals, and that's metamaterials. Materials with a unique structure that can interact with the electromagnetic spectrum to attenuate microwave radar in stealth aircraft. Material today that has such small cavities in it that it can actually affect visible light wavelengths.
For years, the Pentagon secretly studied the seemingly impossible abilities of unknown craft captured in these military videos. Scientists now want to know if the materials used in these mystery aircraft allow them to do what they do. For years, one of the secret studies was carried out by BASS, a Las Vegas operation hidden within Bigelow Aerospace. Documents first reported by the I-Team show that BASS landed a contract with the DIA, and one of the objectives was to study so-called metamaterials, as well as futuristic technologies. Astrophysicist Dr. Jacques Vallée has been analyzing mystery metals since the 80s, often using the technical expertise of Stanford University and Silicon Valley to unravel unknown samples acquired from all over the world. Vallée pointedly steers clear of any military funding, and he shared his findings at public conferences.
We have multiple samples now from multiple sources, ranging a wide variety of integrity.
These days, former intelligence officer Lou Elizondo helps to collect and protect unknown chunks for the To the Stars Academy. Before that, he ran ATIP, the Pentagon's secret UFO study, the same one which released the now famous videos. This summer, To the Stars launched ATOM, its own effort to find and study pieces of material that may have been stashed away for decades after being retrieved from the sites of close encounters. Elizondo says there are legitimate reasons why the military and now private groups are in a race to figure out these materials.
What our internal efforts are to potentially, I'm not saying we're doing this, maybe replicate that technology or to reverse engineer that technology, right? Now you're getting into some sensitivities that you don't necessarily want everybody to be privy to.
All that you've heard about crash recovery is true. There's teams of people throughout the world looking for extraterrestrial material to open a new door to human science. And that's how extraterrestrial material is weaponized, because the truth is out there.